Hey folks, there's already some of you here already. Little late today, got in late last night, so got up late. That's how it works. 23 minutes late. Yeah, I know, man. Better late than never. But I'm here. I've got giant mug of coffee, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. When there's coffee, there's a lot of fun, right? All right. And also, it's my first playing today. My hands are cold. It's a little cold right now, so I'm just gonna get going here. No essays for you, John? Alright, let's see. Hey, Gil. Folks, how you all doing? Join Freedom is a lot of strings here. It really is. 6 strings. I mean, it's nothing new, really. It's only 45 years old. 6-string basses. Actually older, if you count from when Anthony Jackson came up with the concept. We're actually looking at 50 years old. So, you know, there we go. Gil, nice to see you. And so John's asking, I've been looking at jazz basses to buy in the summer and seen the mode. How do you think it fares compared to Fenders? No bias, please. I don't know if you want to ask me that, John. If it's biased. Look, I think I will always say that a jazz bass in its traditional sense obviously is going to give you that traditional vibe. If you're going for that, I'm just going to say one thing right now, and this is probably the only time that you're going to hear me say this. All right. So, especially right now what's going on with Fender, I am very discouraged from recommending that Fender. If you want to go for a modern jazz bass, there you definitely have way better options. You really do. That's the thing. I would say if you do want to get a Fender jazz bass, go for an older one. Go for a more vintage one. But obviously, not everyone has vintage money, which is totally fine. But you know, you've got way better options, in my opinion. The mode, where is it? Oops. On this side, yeah, the mode is very affordable, has a lot of features, and will do the jazz bass thing for you. And especially for you, John, I know what the type of music that you're into and that you love to play. I think it would be really great, and I know you love playing 6-string bass. If you had a 6-string version, mode, jazz bass, I think it would cover you pretty nicely, you know? The chat is popping off here. What do we got? But yeah, I would say that's like, it is hard to, you know, Ibanez definitely got their flair in it, taking the traditional concept of a jazz bass and putting their spin on it, which I think is really good, and that's how things should be done as well. Other companies that obviously you got your Sadowskis, you got your Mike Lulls, and all that. I mean, even this company called Lay Guitars as well. Ellis is an incredible luthier. I've never played Lay Guitars, but just from what I've been seeing and the fact that someone like Tim LaFay got a custom Lay 5-string kind of jazz bass that sounds incredible, and I know Tim is super picky about instruments as well. You know, I mean, not like super picky, but like, you know, he's a legendary player. He has a certain standard that he is used to, and especially if you're gonna get an instrument like that. So I would say, John, you know, there are definitely a lot of great options around to really look into, you know. I would say, and Michael, how you doing, Michael? Nice to see you. Is saying here, from what I can see, is yes, the Ibanez necks are definitely different than a Fender neck, and that's one of the characteristics of a mode bass, is that you're getting an Ibanez feel neck. So if that's what you like, you know, that would be something to do. The best thing to do, as always, and this is for anyone, you got to go try out the instruments. You really have to do that. You got to try it because you got to get a connection. it's the same as, you know, if you're buying a car. Obviously, you're not going to be dropping like so much money, you know, but you need to have a connection to, like, when you get in that car, is it comfortable to drive? Does it feel good? Do you see yourself driving this? The same thing with an instrument. It's a personal connection. Shalev, nice to see you. And what's really cool is that from what, you know, the times that, you know, Shalev has been here, who does, from what I can understand, Shalev, you play music that is definitely more on the edgier side, more like heavier kind of side. So it's really good to have that side of things as well. Obviously, I'm more on the like the jazz kind of, you know, fusion R&B side of things. So I'm definitely going for something that's really cleaner and articulate. And so I can't really give a lot of perspective in the other side of music, of how these instruments are used. So I think it's always good to have people who represent multiple genres, right, and styles and visions. So always good to see you, Shalev. And yes, Sadowski would be the closest thing. Especially the latest Sadowski Metros, the more affordable lines that they brought out. That 6-string looks really nice. The only thing I would say about it is that it, which is totally fine for a lot of people, I would say it's different for me, is that they don't have much of a mid-range control. I think it's just treble and bass. For those new ones they brought out, but still they sound like an incredible instrument from the videos I've seen. So you've definitely got a lot of options up your sleeve, you know. So take your time, John, and anybody else who's considering something like this. Whoa, chat is just going. The chat here is. I gotta catch up. On here. Yeah, you know, and they also have a 6-string 24 frets. So you got some, you got some options, but it looks like you're looking for a 5. So that's cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, John, you just gotta try it out, man. You gotta, and if you're going 20, 22 fret, and then there's also the Sire basses too, right? There really is, which I know a few people who have them, they love them. So yeah. Michael Anthony saying he loves his Lakelands. Yeah, Lakelands, man. Lakelands are classic. But and they definitely are like hot rodded Fenders for sure. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you got lots of options here. And what's really cool, and I appreciate everyone here in the chat pitching in, you know, this is why I do this as well, because we can just nerd out and help each other, right? Of course, at the end of the day, everyone is going to have a different opinion and a different idea, which I think is great, because it's music. It's music, it's art, it's not just one perspective. It's important to get so many perspectives from everyone. So I think it's really great. You know, some people are going to be here like, yeah, I like this, or you know, or I like this, or I'm not really into that, and that's cool. You know, it's not a competition, which is what I love. So yeah, and yeah, Shalev saying, yeah, he plays metal and blues, but also, yeah, so Shalev covers a broad range, which is really cool. You know, I definitely do mainly like a lot of jazz, you know, fusion kind of gigs and all that. So yeah, I'm not as heavy. So, oh man, I'm trying to catch up here. I know there's something that I'm gonna miss. But no, this is really cool. And here you go. Yeah, Michael was saying he bought a Sire, didn't like the neck, too rounded, but that's a personal choice. Exactly. It really is. I know some cats, yeah, who love that neck, and I know some cats who just absolutely are like, nah, not at all. So, yeah, it's and it really depends, yeah, on the model. So, yeah, sometimes it can be an overwhelming choice. Because there's this day and age, there's just so many great instruments out there. There really is. There definitely is, and there's an instrument for everyone, which is really cool. So yeah, I am curious. Just going back to seeing what you're saying, John. Anaconda basses. Which I've never tried an Anaconda bass, but I've heard them. If several of my buddies have Anaconda instruments, Jamal Nichols has a signature one that sounds incredible, and he's an incredible player himself. Matt Ramsey has been playing an Anaconda bass as well. And they definitely look a little more on the high end. Another online buddy of mine named Buddy Pearson, who's an incredible player. I think he's in, where is he? Is he in St. Louis, I think? But he plays an Anaconda bass, an Anaconda 6-string jazz bass, which is really cool. So yeah, those are some pretty nice instruments by the looks of it. I'd love to play them. Anyway, coffee is starting to kick in a bit. If you're just joining on, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's a little late start for me today because I got in super late last night, and of course I woke up late, so here we are. But you know, got some coffee, got the bass. We're here. We're already jumping in. People are giving their take on what are some decent jazz bass options out there. And jazz bass, you know, being just a nice kind of traditional thing, one of the most used types of instruments, just that are very common in the bass world. And it's not obviously just for playing jazz. That was just the name that it was given, right? But I'll tell you, you know, this bass right here doesn't look anything like a jazz bass, but it's essentially it is a jazz bass. And same thing with my groove lines in the back. All right, I'm definitely I'm a jazz bass guy, but over the years I've only owned maybe 2 or 3 Fenders in my life. Obviously, you know, they're a classic instrument, but I was just never so much into them so much that much. I really loved Ibanez, but I did wish that Ibanez, you know, this was when I was younger, did have something that had some more traditional features on it. So when the groove lines came out, and I joined Ibanez when the groove lines came out. So when I joined them, they supplied me with this red 5-string over here, which was fretted, and it was their take on a modern jazz bass. The pickups are in the 60s position. It's got, you know, the 3-band EQ, and this one, yeah, these groove lines are 22 frets as well, 34-inch scale. It had that whole thing, that whole sound, which I absolutely love. And so I still play them to this day, obviously. Those have been my go-to. And then when I had the opportunity to get this bass built, I did ask, you know, can I have it done in the groove line body, but because they've been out of production for many years, when, you know, this opportunity came around, I said, well, let's do the BTB body, because I love that. I love the BTB specifications, but I want to have it 34-inch scale, and I want to have the two groove line pickups in the 60s jazz bass positions. So that's what's going on here. And then third, this middle pickup was just a, hey, you know, let's put 3 pickups on this bass, because why not? It's a custom job. But it's got quite the jazz bass vibe to it. What's cool is that because I love the jazz bass sound, but I also love 6-string bass, so it's really cool having a 6-string jazz bass, because that was something that wasn't too common. Whenever you would see a 6-string bass, it would be it would be something with like big, you know, like soap bar pickups, you know, something like an MTD or like the Yamaha basses, even some of the other Ibanez basses, like the Sound Gears and all that, the BTBs. But I wanted to see more of something with a single coil, or even just like that dual, like stacked coils option, which is what these basses are. This one in particular, and the groove line. So when they brought out a 6-string groove line, I was like, man, I'm set. It really is, because it does the whole jazz bass thing for me in terms of the sound, especially and for me the typical sound of like a jazz bass, and this is for me, right, is the way that when you do some thumping, that's a very typical jazz bass sound. And just when to where it's almost got you know, that Marcus Miller, yes, if you're going to be thumping it, it's got that kind of vibe to it. And then if you wanted to go for like that classic kind of jazz bass sound, then I would roll off like the treble on the EQ on the bass and open up the tone just a bit, a little more mids, you know. And that's the thing, is that there wasn't any Ibanez basses that sounded like this. And then especially for the back pickup sound, you know, that typical Jarko growl, which, you know, it's the 60s position. Not anything closer to the bridge. Then it gets to it's got the sweet spot of where it is. So that's the thing. When and then of course, you know, your front pickup, you can get the P bass. But to me, that the typical jazz bass pickup spacing and just that sound is one of the most versatile tones and usable. And for the type of music that I'm really into and the type of vision going forward that I like, I aspire to just kind of stick to, it requires that sound. The only thing with a jazz bass, obviously, it doesn't sound like a Music Man. And because that's a totally different instrument. It doesn't sound like a Rick. It doesn't, an alembic. That's a whole other thing. And that's where, you would literally play different instruments to achieve those sounds, So that's the thing. Darian Glass, how you doing? Yes, we're calling it thumping because traditionally that's the name of it. That's what it is, especially if you look at the granddaddies of it. Larry Graham, Louis Johnson. To me, I mean, those two, they're the pioneers of how we do it. And they call it thumping because that's what it is, So it's a little hard to do the Louis Johnson thing on the sixth string, especially on this one. This has just a slightly tighter string spacing. It's at 17.5. Everything else is at least 18 millimeters. So I don't do a lot of thumping on this bass. That's the thing. Folks, if you haven't already and you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I do these live streams twice a week. I do a Tuesday edition, and I do this edition, which is, I don't know, maybe you want to call it the caffeine edition, because this is the one where I, will drink some caffeine. Because on the Tuesday edition, it's nighttime for me, and I can't do that, otherwise I won't sleep. It's as simple as that. Let's put the loop back on for Inner Urge. It's a good little warm-up. But if you got any questions, any nerdy bass questions, pop it down in the chat. And like anything to do with bass playing. All right? And whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player, you just got questions about anything that has to do with the bass. Techniques, gear is always a big one. Concepts, whatever. Recording basses, playing gigs, anything to do with bass rigs, strings, what you name it. Upright bass as well. Pop it down in the chat. I appreciate it. It's just always fun to be here. Darian saying, I'm a granddaddy for sure. That's how I started. Nice. Jersey Floxer. How you doing? That tone. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of getting it dialed in. Still cold. Enrico Xavier, how you doing? Can you show how to do your palm muting? Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely can do that. I'd be happy to. Daring Glass is asking, what is the best looper to use? I really don't know. I'm not so much of... The only time I do looping is when I do this, or if I'm practicing, or where I'm teaching. And I just need something that will record tracks, and I can overdub, and then I can push stop and play. And so the one I use is a Bass RC30. So for me, that's what's best for me. I'm sure there are way better ones. I know there are way better ones, but it's just not... I'm not a huge, like, looping kind of, I'm not that looping kind of guy, so that's how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna address Enrico's question here for palm muting, which is any type of muting on the bass is super important. It's just, one of those crucial techniques as a bass player that you just need to have in your toolkit for many different reasons. And it's concerning dynamics, it's concerning articulation, as well as even tone as well. And palm muting is just one of the types of mutings. There's also fret hand muting too. These two things are really important. But in terms of palm muting, I'll just give you a real crash course, real kind of basic thing, because it's not something that is super complicated. So if you have your bass with you, and I recommend, as I'm doing this, grab your bass and do this along with me, because then you'll, it'll be way better. So, you got your bass. With your hand, put it on the bridge itself. All right, this is, trust. It's I'm going through like a step-by-step process. And let me just fix this microphone so you can see my hand properly. There we go. That should be better. So get your hand, and so like the side of your hand, put it on the bridge like this. All right. And then what you want to do is you want to have this kind of motion right here, and you want it to be real loose. Just let it kind of just sit, right? And the reason why we're starting like this is because you want to get used to being able to position your hand and play like this. So at this point, because I've been doing this for so long, when I pick, I use my thumb and I use my index and middle finger. Right? But for now, if you're totally new to this, if this is a new kind of thing, just get used to using your thumb. And I've got my other fingers just kind of resting on the other strings, but just use your thumb. So just do that, right? Get used to that motion of using your thumb and playing stuff. Maybe you want to play some bass lines like that, or play a few scales. And as you move to the higher strings, just move just literally like move your hand. So obviously if you've got 5-string or a 6-string bass, and it's not going to be like this, like kind of like literally you just got to kind of move it just a little bit. All right, now the muting part. You know, once you've got used to playing with your thumb, and you might find that you want to incorporate your index finger for some of the highest strings. So if you're playing something like so you got this kind of as if they're like pincers, you know. So now for the muting parts. All right, well, where your hand is, just slightly move it onto the strings now, right? And so what you're doing is now you're interrupting the vibration of the string, so the sustain of it. So we went from sitting our hand on the bridge to now we're putting some of our hand on the string. Now you don't want to push into the string because that's going to make your notes go sharp, right? So you just want it to sit. And the really cool thing about palm muting is that, so right now, just putting your hand a little bit on the string, we're getting this very minimal amount of muting. So what we're doing is we're increasing the decay. And so if you want to get a little more, if you want to get some more decay in the notes, meaning that and less sustain, we can move our hand a little more onto the string so that we get, if you want to get more of a that's the thing. So the more you move it onto the string, and there's no reason to move it over here because now you're not getting anything, you know. Although that, that could be kind of cool in a way. But you don't need to really go that far out here. So, and what's cool is that you can experiment with the amount of decay and thumpiness. So, so something, if you're playing, and this is the thing too. It's a great way of being able to control note length, which is important, when playing grooves, And if you wanted to mix it in with some more sustained notes, you can do that by just kind of lifting a little bit, so that you can let the string, sustain more. And then there's also, if you wanted to add some more percussive notes, there's that whole kind of thing. And so, and yes, you're right, Shalev. It definitely relies on you. You know, when you practice this, just with anything, you know, whether we're doing this or you're doing thumping or any kind of technique, it's muscle memory. It really is. And you gotta work with, and obviously everyone's bodies and anatomy and everything, arms, hands, wrists are all different, right? So you gotta work with, you know, with how you are, how your bass is. The whole thing of, you know, when especially when putting your hand on the bridge like this, you might have a bridge that has, you know, the adjuster screws that are like sticking up. So obviously, you know, that's going to be that can be a little difficult to do in a sense. Like I do have a bass, you know, one of my older Ibanez, my vintage Ibanez basses, it's like that, where it's just a touch difficult to get the type of palm muting that I do on this bass, but you know, that's just, you got to work with what you got, right? But in terms of doing the palm muting, the concept of it, that should get you going. So I hope that's helpful in that sense. And again, one of the most useful techniques that you could use when just in bass playing in general. It's a great way of controlling dynamics, controlling note length, and to just kind of switch up the vibe as well. And yeah, if you want to get that thumpier sound, you can do that, which is really cool. Absolutely love it. Michael is asking, just going back up here, so I've been playing my new Ibanez 6-string mode and it's incredible, but I can barely play the songs I've been playing on my 4s and 5s. The neck is so wide. I'm finding some epic chords though. Nice. That's so cool. Yeah. And that's so cool, Michael, that you're enjoying your new 6-string mode bass. And this is the thing, you know, when you get a new instrument, you obviously, yes, need to get used to it, the way that it feels, it sounds, and also develop some muscle memory for that instrument too, especially if you've never played a 6-string before. I mean, it's not super crazy, you know, to go on a 6-string bass. It's just one. If you've been playing 5s mostly, it's just one extra string to really just get used to the notes and all that. But the best thing you can do is just play the music, play along to songs that you always done, and start getting used to doing that. That is always one of the most important things that you can do. That way, you can just get, it's just familiarity, right? So keep it up, Michael. You know, I've been playing 6-string for at least 22 years now. Yeah, 2004 is when I started playing 6-string bass. John Axe, I don't think you were even born then, right? I'm at that point in my life where I've, especially if there's a lot of musicians who are younger than me, where I've been playing bass longer than they've been alive. I'm at that point in my life now. I know for some of you who are older than me, you've been like, I've been saying that for the last, but I'm at that point. So a lot of musicians who I've been playing with, who are at least 10 years younger than me, that's how it is. I'm like, oh man, because I always used to be the young cat in the band. I was always the youngest. I was the baby. And now a lot of ensembles, groups I've been playing in lately, I'm the old cat. I'm the old dude now, and it's hilarious. I'm like, wow, it's just hilarious when you get to that moment. Let's see here. Uh, yes, we have a mention of Chris Squire tone. Yeah, exactly. Which I love the Chris Squire tone. I don't know. I'm not an expert on how to dial it in per se, just because that's not something that I would need to use. But I appreciate that it's a thing. And when I hear it, and it makes sense as to how it fits in with that kind of music. So Darian is asking, when playing, do you see notes or colors when improvising or soloing? Yeah, I mean that's a good question. No, I don't see that. I more so, I can hear things in my head. So, say for example, let me just put like a little a little chord progression in the looper here that I can improvise to. Um, so for something like this, which is very diatonic, right? So there are everyone is going to have like some go-to vocabulary and phrases that naturally we will play and know how to express and tell a story with. So I'm not seeing colors, I'm not seeing notes, I'm just hearing phrases. And also, when I hear the notes that I'm playing currently, that helps me connect to where the next ones are. In addition to having a understanding of harmony and connecting chord changes, right? That also ties into it as well. And I'm just telling you from my perspective, right? Understanding, the types of chord tones and all that. But I'm not thinking of each individual chord. I'm thinking of the whole progression, in a whole, right? Sometimes, especially in this kind of sense, and when I want to build up something or get into something, I'll start off with just like a few notes to kind of like initiate the whole thing, right? Because other than just playing the right notes, a big part of being able of just improvising is the delivery of it. So the type of phrasing, the articulation, and the rhythm as well. All of that goes hand in hand. Because you could technically play all the right notes, but it's like, what are you saying? Right? Are you saying something meaningful? One of my mentors and one of the greatest jazz bassists in history, Charlie Hayden, who I studied with, back in college, he was someone that could just absolutely move you with like just a few notes. Because his whole concept and just his way of playing was this kind of minimalist perspective, as opposed to, you know, someone else of that era, someone like Scott LaFaro, who he was very close friends with. I mean, they were even roommates at one point as well. But Scott definitely came from the perspective of a saxophone player, because he was a saxophone player. And so his improvisations on the bass were of that nature. They had that kind of thing. That's how he was hearing it. Charlie was the total opposite, right? And it's not a case of like who's better or who's correct. It's just two different ways of playing the instrument and to telling a story, right? They both equally could just blow you away with the way they would play. Charlie would just absolutely move you with a few notes, the same way that Scott would move you with a whole lot of notes. And the reason is not because of the technical ability of both musicians, is because you felt the journey, you felt the story that they were telling you. It was meaningful. There was intention behind everything that they played. That's what it was. And so when I play a few notes, when I'm playing, whether I'm playing a lot of notes or playing a few notes, there's always intention but behind everything I'm playing, in terms of like how I'm feeling. And so this is also a combination of, like I said, yes, the theoretical elements and the transcription elements of transcribing, you know, some of my favorite improvisers throughout my life. You know, you're gaining phrases and all different kinds of vocabulary. You're adding it to what you do, so that you have tools, you have things to use on a natural basis. Just the same way that when we speak, right? We've picked up sayings from our friends and families or people that we really look up to, and we've been able to incorporate it into our speaking vocabulary. And we can use it in a natural and a interactive way. It's the same thing with what we do in music. Let me catch up on the chat here, because I'm like, and it's really cool. You cats are really just going off, and I absolutely love it. Let's see. And Shalev has given some great input as well. Darian is asking, what type of strings do you use, nickel or steel? So I use steel. I used to use nickel for the longest time. And only in the last 3 years I've started using steel, because when I started playing DR strings, the high beams, I was like, oh, okay. Those are the strings for me. I always thought steel strings were like too brittle sounding, like too harsh, and had too much of a mid scoop and too textured. Until I tried these ones, and I was like, oh, okay, well, they totally changed my mind. So now I only use steel, which is really cool. So yeah. We stream. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you for asking. Oh, you're all the way in the Caribbean over there. Shalev is saying, Benjamin, I recommend you maybe start a Discord or some other way to talk and share pics or vids of the community. Yeah, I mean, so a few people, I gotta, I'm totally like out of touch with like the Discord and all that. So that might be something I need to research, Shalev. So thank you for the suggestion. I'm gonna do that. Oh, John Axe was born in 2006. Oh man. So yeah, I have been playing 6-string bass longer than you've been alive, John. Even Shalev is a baby too. In 2006, you were 2 years old. Oh man. Oh man, now I'm really feeling like the old dude, man. Which I know is not true, but so yeah. We're all growing. Yes, exactly, Mr. Brown. For the Chris Squire tone, turn off the compressor first to better find it. Increase the drive to at least 1 or 2 o'clock. Turn up the treble and then find the mids. Yeah, okay. Let's try the Chris Squire tone, shall we? So turn off my compressor, which is my Aguilar. I'm going to increase the drive. I gotta turn down the focus rate. Sorry for the crackles. A little bit there, right? But that means that, yeah, let's get, just still turn that off. And then more treble. And then mids, right? Is that it? I don't know, that sounds convincing to me. Yeah, this is definitely not the tone that I use at all, right? That's definitely not the tone I use. But that's cool, you know. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Yes, and that was, yes, Chris Squire. Yes, that's one of his famous bass lines, Roundabout. You know? Yeah, you know, it was funny when I first heard the name Chris Squire. I was like, oh, is that what, Squire instrument, like from Fender? I was like, is that what, was it named after him? That's what for the longest time when I was a kid, that's what I thought. But obviously that's not the case. Anyway, we get a different. Real quick, folks. So yes, Boards of Series. Nice to see you. Yeah, close in some way, right? Obviously, I'd probably need to use a different bass. I need to use a Rick to get that real clank kind of sound, right? and probably just a different setup in order to do that. But um, so real quick, yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you look down in the description box, there's links there, all kinds of wonderful links to my resources at Bass with Benjamin. So my different courses. Some of you have talked mentioning bass chords and all that. So I have 2 bass chords courses. So you don't have to have a 6-string bass to do it. You can do it on a 5 or 4-string bass. But that's there. As well as if you want to take a lesson with me, like a one-off lesson, or even join my one-on-one bass mentoring and coaching program. And it's open to any level of bass player. So, and you don't have to be just a jazz bassist to do it. This is, for people who are wanting regular guidance on a weekly basis and want regular feedback, and someone there if you need a pep talk as well. Plus much more. So make sure you check that out down below. All the links are there. Man, this bass has been... I missed this bass. For almost 2 months, I didn't play this bass. You guys probably just saw it sitting on the stand. Didn't have strings on it. It's nice to get it up and running again, because I had to fix... It's got 2 truss rods, and I had to fix one of the... I had to get a new rod connector, the bit that you adjust, because it cracked. And it's not a part that you can just go to your local hardware store and get. I actually had to get a machine shop to make them for me. And so I just had them make like 5 of them, even though I probably won't need to use them, but just to have it, because since it's such a rare part, apparently. And I had to have a place that makes like farm equipment do it for me as well. So it's pretty interesting. But it's up and running, and this bass plays. And also, I had this bass serviced as well prior to that happening. I had the frets done and everything, and they fixed one of the potentiometers. So this bass is playing really nice. It feels really good. And so I'm excited for some gigs coming up where I'm going to be using this bass more. And also, although it's when this bass was out of commission, it was really nice playing a lot of these gigs with my Grooveline 6-string, which is, it is my main bass. It is my heart and soul for so many things that I've done. But obviously, this being a bass that I had custom made and it hasn't seen a lot of gigs, that's what's going to happen with gigs coming up. And also the mode bass has been really great as well. Playing a lot of gigs on that. It's an incredible instrument. So I'm really excited about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play along to some really difficult music, because my cool thing that I've been doing here on the live stream has been I've been able to screen share the charts, the sheet music that I'm playing along to, so that you can see what I'm playing. And if you have your bass, you can also, you want to have the challenge of reading along. But just, some of these tunes I've been playing that are pretty complicated. I'm going to play 3 complicated tunes today. I'm going to really, I'm kind of setting myself up here as well. But I think it would just be a lot of fun. You could see how some of these charts that I've had to play on gigs have looked like, and some of the stuff that I've had to read. So let me see what I'll start with here. Yeah, maybe I'll start with this tune. So I'm gonna start with it. So this was 6 years ago. I've played this tune here on the live stream before, but this time you'll actually get to see the chart of it, which is really cool. And this is a Steve Smith tune. It was written by Steve Smith, Baron Brown, late great Baron Brown. Vinnie Valentino is a great guitar player. And so this is a band that they have called Vital Information. And 6 years ago, I got a last minute call to fill in for the great Baron Brown, who has been Vital Information's bassist for the last at least 25 years. Unfortunately, Baron passed away a few years ago. But when I was filling in for him, I think that was like he was that was part of his some of his health challenges. So we miss you, Baron, and thank you so much for letting me have this opportunity. When that happened, and much love to your family and friends and everyone who knew you. So this is so I got a call from Steve Smith, and he had gotten my number from Peter Erskine, and he said, "Hey, this is Steve here." And I was, of course, I knew who Steve was. I was a huge fan of him, and he said, "Are you able to next week? I've got 4 nights at the Catalina Jazz Club in Hollywood with Vital Information. Are you able to? Are you free? To do those?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And I said, "Yes, absolutely," without looking in my calendar to see if I would be double booking myself. There's a few times I've done that with excitement, but I'll just tell you, just please don't do that. Thankfully, there was there was one gig that would have clashed, but it was just going to be like a local bar gig with one of my buddies who it was easy to it was an easy gig to get out of, and totally he'd be like, "Oh yeah, man, you got to go play with Steve Smith for sure." So it was no problem. So he sent me the music, and it was a mix of all kinds of stuff, some straight ahead stuff and then some more fusiony things. And so this was a tune here, and I need to actually load it up into my little stem splitter. This one I probably spent the most time on because of just how involved it is. It's called 8 in 5, and the reason it's called 8 in 5 is, and actually I'll show you the chart right here. Where's my window so that you can see? 8 and 5. Actually, yes, before I get to this as well, thank you, Boards of Series. Yes, we want to acknowledge the great Sonny Rollins, who just passed away. Wow, what an absolute force and huge influence, and granddaddy as well. We one of the foundational members of when we're talking about jazz music. The saxophone. I mean, this was someone who was hugely influential to so many people, including people like John Coltrane. But the fact that we had Sonny for such a long time, it was just amazing. So thank you, Maestro. Rest in peace. What a life, right? Incredible. Oh, Darian, you're in Compton. Nice. When we be at Catalina. So bad. I used to live in Los Angeles, and I am now in these days I'm in New Zealand. So I'm quite a long way away. But man, I used to live in Los Angeles for many years, and I was always frequently playing at, you know, places like the Baked Potato, yes, Catalina's, a place called the Blue Whale, which was probably my favorite place to play at in Los Angeles. He's opening a new Blue Whale now because he closed for a few years, especially, a few years ago. I used to play at the World Stage in Leimert Park a lot, which is obviously a very legendary historical place. Many different places I was frequent. So yeah, what's it? Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, Industry Cafe, like places like that. I would play at. And there was a spot. I used to do a brunch gig in Inglewood on Sundays. What was it called? I can't even remember now. But I used to be there on Sundays. It's right across from the Miracle Theater, right across the road from there. I can't remember now. But anyway, let's get back to 8 and 5. So if you have a look here, is the chart. Let me move. No, I want to move myself to the side. There we go. You can see there. Okay, yeah. 4 plus 5 8, because that's what's going to be happening. It's a mixed meter composition, and this incorporates what is called. So with Steve, he studied, you know, like tabla playing and North Indian classical music, and this incorporates a T high, which is a specific, I don't know how many beats. It's a specific beat cycle to how it is. So essentially, if we look here at the section A1, this whole section here, all the way up to B1, you kind of have, you know, oh wait, no, where is the thing? Yeah, so what it is, it's in 4, but it's a, we have like this kind of polyrhythm over the bar line kind of thing going on, right? So ba da ba da 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 da. So it's just a displacement of this rhythm right here. It's being displaced, and then eventually, you know, it lines up. That's what it is. Sometimes it's hard to explain. You just have to listen to it. And the reason why I've been chatting this much is because I'm letting the thing do its stem splitting. It's got 15 seconds to go, and then I'll play the damn thing, which will be good. It is a fun tune to play, and this version that I'm playing is actually from the Vic Firth Jams live. So he did a version of this on there, and Sput Searlight, great drummer, a musician. A lot of you would know him from Snarky Puppy, as well as he has his own band called Ghost Note. He arranged this version, so with the horns and all that. You know, he made a whole vibe of this, which is really cool. And so we did this arrangement of it. So I'm going to push play. I want to make sure, is my audio settings correct on Logic? Yes, it is. Okay. All right. I'm going to push play and then somehow navigate to the window that I was on. So here we go. Let's go full screen. Hold on, that's really loud. That is really loud. Yeah, that just absolutely. Sorry if you're wearing headphones and I just blew out your ears. I apologize. We don't need to hear the crowd scream anymore. It's great that they can appreciate everyone. All right, here we go. For real. Good Lord. Good Lord. Good googly. Oh man. Um you know, yes, Darian, the baked potato is still there. It is the oldest jazz club in Los Angeles, right? It really is. Um, you gotta go there. I mean, for anyone who's visiting Los Angeles, yeah, you gotta go to the Baked Potato Jazz Club. They have a full calendar every single day. I think there might be some Mondays they don't. I'm not sure, but if you look on the website, you'll see their full lineup. I mean, um, that's the thing. The full lineup of just who's playing there is an incredible thing. Um, Great sound, great players who play there. So yeah, baked potato. But anyway, that tune right there um, is definitely. I mean, I haven't played that in quite a while, so just trying to sight read that and go off of what I remember as well. There was definitely that one part where I slid and played, and then nothing happened. I was like, ah! And, oh man, like I dropped a beat, so that's why I was like early. It's hilarious, but hey, who cares? All right, with that tune out of the way, I'm going to play another hard tune because that's what I do here, and because it's fun. I love playing. Like I like having the challenge of playing some hard stuff because why not, right? It just makes you a better musician as well. Um, you know, Savak, nice to see you. It's been a minute, but yeah, that's a fun tune. So that's called 8 and 5. Is there any way I could have this to practice? So I can't give you the chart, unfortunately. But you could definitely find the track on YouTube. So if you type in Vic Firth or VF Jams, Steve Smith, you'll find that performance, right? And yes, the chart is good, but it's also, this tune was definitely more of a feel thing. You have to really feel, especially. So that's the thing right there is, and that took me a while to kind of just get used to, was that groove, was just how to get that to really just feel natural, to where I didn't have to just stick to that all the time, where I could kind of play over the bar line kind of stuff and still be able to line up and know where I was, just as if we were playing 4, right? That was the thing about it, Dun, 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 so things like that. So that's how I'd memorize things like that. John X is saying I've memorized the Mike Mitchell session. Oh yeah, nice. I've played with Mike a few times. There was a few times he would be in town, and I got him on a few gigs that we played. We had a lot of fun. We played a lot of notes. We definitely did. It was hilarious, but we had fun, just kind of stretching out. So yeah. Next tune I'm gonna play. What have I got on my digital music stand? In other words, the preview PDF viewer. Oh yeah, okay. This one is gonna be also a bit of a ball buster too. Loud Jazz, John Schofield. Let me get the track for that, because this is just a also another one of those tunes where it's just like, oh my god, what is going on? And I have to read this, because I did have to read it on a gig one time, and I just was just like, this is insane. Like, how do you even come up with a tune like this? So let me get this. Loud jazz. I'm gonna play some loud jazz. And apparently he got that name because so this band that Schofield had back in the '80s with Dennis Chambers and Gary Granger, and the thing is, yeah, it was Jim Beard on keys. Obviously, being a fusion band, and they were rehearsing one time, and I guess Schofield's daughter, she said, "You guys," like she was like a little kid. It's like, yeah, you guys are playing loud jazz. So she said something like that, and then that's how he came up with the name, Loud Jazz. It's really cute, actually. I love it. And Schofield, he's just absolutely one of the greatest players. If you want to, I would say, definitely check out, if you want to hear some early Schofield playing, the George Duke Billy Cobham band. Was a phenomenal group in the 70s, real jazz, funk, fusion band. Also had one of my mentors playing bass, Alfonso Johnson, and this was after he had left Weather Report. He started playing with Cobham Duke. And there's some really great videos on YouTube, and they also did a live album as well. But Schofield, yeah, he's playing some incredible stuff on that, and it's really cool to, he's using a wah pedal, he's playing a Les Paul and all that. Look at me talking about guitars. This is a bass channel, this is a bass hang, and I'm talking about guitar players. But hey, we can learn from other instrumental brothers and sisters, right? All right, so take out the bass here, and we're going to bring up the chart for loud jazz. Let me give myself some runway so that, as I switch over to the programs, I'm not like just surprising myself and being unprepared, which is what sometimes happens. All right, loud jazz. And so, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a crazy chart. Let me get some more coffee in to make it through this. I'm sorry if you had to hear that through the microphone, but if you're into the ASMR kind of thing, then today is your lucky day. Oh, and let me address Boards of Series question. That's a great question before we get started. Yeah, I mean, look, you can find a lot of charts just anywhere. Obviously, a Google search you can find a lot of things. Things that are available for free, things that are available for purchase. Sometimes you can even ask the composer, and they might charge you a couple of bucks or something for the chart. I've done that many times in the past. Either they say yes, they'll be like, oh yes, I'll it's if you want this chart, it's like $5 or whatever. Or sometimes they'll be like, no. So it's either a yes or no. There have definitely been a lot of times where I've just transcribed the tune, I've made the charts myself. And the reasons I would do that is because I haven't been able to find a chart that was available, or if I do find a chart, it's not really that great. So it's like not correct, or the way that it's just written out is just kind of terrible. So then I'll use that chart as like a basis, and I'll make a more cleaner chart if I need to do that. Something that's easier to read, right? But more accurate. So yeah, you can definitely find stuff. Yeah, music notes, MuseScore, all kinds of places. Scribd is another great. That's a PDF, all kinds of documents. You can get like a free trial and all that. But they have a lot of sheet music there as well, charts, real books and all that, song books for different things that you can download and save them and print them off as well. So that's what I would recommend. So definitely many sources that you can do so. All right, I'm going to play loud jazz. Let's change over here. There you go. You can see loud jazz. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Is it just the coffee talking? Probably. Okay, let's get going here. Full screen. I'm going to try that again because I missed the page turn. And then and that's the thing. You miss your place, and then you lost it, especially on something like that. You can't recover. You really can't. So I'm going to try it again. Cuz yeah. All right, let me try that again. From the top. Tippity top. Full screen. my god. See what I have to put up with sometimes? But obviously, you know, for a tune like that, I would have spent many times in the shed trying to transcribe that. So, yeah. That's a loud jazz. Schofield. Oh my god, let me quit out of that window. Try it another time. This is fun, just kind of trying to play these tunes that are just sometimes just impossible to play. That one, of course, yeah, rhythmically. And the thing, because it goes by so fast and it's written in 3, so that just makes it even more like insane. Which is hilarious. I do have another tune that I'm going to play along to, which is also got some twists and turns, mixed meter stuff, because why not, right? Why the heck not? Folks, I appreciate you hanging out. This has been a lot of fun, as always. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as check out the links down below in the description box for all my bass resources. You can check out my courses, take a lesson with me, join my one-on-one bass coaching program, which is really exciting. I've been working with some absolutely fantastic individuals all over the world, and it's really just so great to see everyone in their own journey. So if this is something that you think, you know, you could really benefit from, have regular guidance, regular feedback on your bass playing, and just getting regular help on a weekly basis, then please check it out, and I would love to have you in my program and help you with your bass journey. This is what Bass with Benjamin is all about, is to help you. Because you love the bass, you love playing music. I love the bass, I love playing music, and I love being with like-minded individuals who wanting to do the same thing as well. And your end goal doesn't have to be, to be a professional bassist, to be a virtuoso bassist. It could be where, like, hey, I just want to get to the level where I'm comfortable to just, play on some gigs with my buddies, or to go sit in on some jam sessions, or just it's been a goal of mine for my entire life to play the bass. Or you may just want to play along with your favorite recordings. It can be something like that, right? But if you do want to be a virtuoso, you want to get into the professional level of bass playing, we absolutely can do that. So make sure you check that out down below. Also, there's my Ko-fi link if you want to buy me another coffee. Whether that's a good idea or not. No, it always is. I'll definitely take another coffee. Why not? Sure, why not? You can do so as well. So this tune that I'm going to play here, let's see if I can read through it. It's a Billy Childs tune, of course. Billy has some very challenging music to play. Just the way we like it, right? So it's all good. Let's see here. Let me catch up on the chat. The chat. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is a thing I'll say about real books, is that, they're a great resource. They're not always accurate, that's the thing. They'll have a lot of, like, your classic tunes, American songbook and typical standards, right? There might be a few modern kind of things in there, but not. What happened? The connection dropped for a second. I think we're back. And we're back. Welcome back. um hey, thanks John. Really good to see you on here. Um yes, I know it's super late where you are. Wherever you are in the world, people, thank you so much. You know, some of you it's the middle of the night, some of you it's the middle of the day or whatever. I'm just glad to catch whoever is here. Babble. Yeah, nice to see you. Um, and Michael is saying, "Yeah, I'm still here." You had a Discord call, so I gotta check. I gotta check out what this Discord and how to do this, because this might be something cool to kind of tap into. So I'll check out Discord. Boards of Series saying, "Hey Ben, when I request a lesson next month, want to check out Tobago by Dario Eskenazi with a six solo by Oscar Stagnato." Oh yeah, Oscar Stagnato, incredible bassist. Woo! Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I will have to check that out. And yes, you want to do that in a lesson? Let's do that. Let's absolutely do that. That's the cool thing. Whatever you want to study, if there's any tunes or repertoire that you want to like kind of dive into when you study with me, we can absolutely do that. And whatever you want help with in that vein, for sure. I'm just realizing that when I have the double page going on, like then there's my little picture that's in the way there, so I've got to do something about that. Hey, Aliza, nice to see you on here. Oh, I think the just for a bit it dropped, but it looks like it's back. It's back on now. You see me on there, but it's not. Hey, folks, can you let me know? Folks, can you let me know? Can you hear me? My It's back. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do one more tune. I'm gonna do one more tune, and then I'm gonna call it because I'm hungry. It's my lunchtime. But I'm gonna do this one tune, and you can hear me. All right. Let's read through this Billy Childs tune together. All right. This one is called "Twilight Is Upon Us," and maybe for wherever you are in the world, maybe twilight is upon you right now. Not for me as yet, and definitely not for John Axe. That's for sure. All right. Let's have a look here. All right, here is the chart. I just want to say, so if I when I've got it set to double page. So when I do double page, all right, then I'm in the way. So what I might do is I might set it to single page that way, because I don't want things to be if you're trying to read along. I mean, who else is reading along here? I'm not sure. All right, yeah, there we go. That way. I think that would be easier. As you can see, yeah, what is going on is like lots of mixed meter goodness happening here. All right, so Twilight Is Upon Us, Billy Childs. Nope, wrong place. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Nope. We gotta start it from the beginning. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god. There's that one section after the piano solo. Oh man. Anyway, so much fun. I love playing stuff like that. And just to see, you know, can I like sight read my way through something like that? But obviously for a gig, I would prepare and practice that. So, and that's what I would, you know, do when music like that would be sent to me in advance. Sometimes you wouldn't always have that luxury of it being sent in advance. Sometimes you would have to show up to the gig and just do it. And so sometimes it's a matter of the time between sound check and the actual hit of like kind of shedding it, you know. I've been in that situation many times. Keeps you on your toes, but there's the excitement of it that you're like, oh, all right, wow, okay, you know, we made it. But anyway, folks, I'm going to call it a day there, a day, a night, a morning, whatever it is, wherever it is for you. Thank you again. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel here. It's great to see, you know, I've surpassed 3,100 subscribers, so let's just keep that growing. And I'm almost at 20,000 followers over on Instagram. And I guess I'll do some research into Discord as well, because a number of you have mentioned this over, you know, my live streams. So that might be something to investigate. So we'll see. Let's see how that goes. But please check out the links down below in the description box to all my bass resources. Whatever I can do to help you on your bass journey. This is what Bass with Benjamin is all about, and I would love to help you, whatever it is. So please reach out. And wherever you are in the world, please take care. Be safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your week and the weekend coming up. And I wish you all the best, you know? Anyway, folks, take care. Thank you so much again. Great to see you all. And I'll see you again next week. All right? Take care.